A VPN, short for Virtual Private Network, is a privacy protection tool that is quickly becoming a must-have. But why do you need a VPN, and how does it work in the first place? A VPN helps your data travel through the internet safely, without big companies or cybercriminals being able to spy on your online activities. Also, a VPN swaps the real location of your device with a new one. This way, you can virtually travel to any country around the globe. So, who can benefit from a VPN? If you're worried about your online privacy, a VPN makes sure your identity and private information are not exposed when you go online. If digital security is your top priority, a VPN gives a nice additional layer of security. It encrypts your data so nobody could see what you send and receive. If you are a human rights activist whose freedom of speech is restricted, a VPN helps you to bypass censorship and speak to the world. Or, if you're on holiday in another country, with a VPN, you can bring your home entertainment anywhere you go. Here's a pro tip: check out Surfshark VPN. It has everything you need in a premium VPN, awesome speeds, and industry-leading protection that covers all of your devices. All you have to do is click Connect. Secure your digital life and enjoy everything good that the internet has to offer with a VPN you can trust.
Click link in the description and get 81% discount for your first order. Priming the bricks. Clean the bricks using a wire brush and soapy water. Scrub the surface of the bricks and the space between them using a wire brush and soapy water. Scrub using up and down motions. Make sure to remove all of the surface dirt and streaky white deposits. Treat any residual marks with a TSP mixture. If there are any marks that aren't coming off, try applying a mixture of trisodium phosphate TSP and water to the area. Mix 1/2 cup of TSP with 2 gallons, 7.6 L of hot water to create a TSP solution. Scrub the bricks using the mixture and wire brush and then rinse the bricks using water. Trisodium phosphate can be purchased from hardware stores. Be extremely careful when using trisodium phosphate as it is a hazardous chemical. Always wear safety goggles and gloves when scrubbing with the liquid. Avoid getting the trisodium phosphate on any surface except the brick. Leave the bricks to completely dry before applying the primer. This can take up to 24 hours. Remove any furniture from the area. Paint can be really difficult to remove from furniture. Move any furniture that is nearby the bricks that you will be painting. If you can't move a piece of furniture, place an old sheet over the item instead. Use newspaper and tape to cover any areas that you don't want paint on. Rip off strips of painter's tape and use them to cover any small areas on the car that you don't want to be stained by paint. If there are large areas, use painter's tape to attach newspaper over the surface. Painter's tape can be purchased at a hardware store. Apply a latex primer over the bricks using a 2.5 in 6.4 cm paintbrush. Dip the bottom 1/3 of the brush into the primer. Brush the primer onto the bricks using smooth up and down strokes. Start at the top of the area and work your way down to the bottom. Apply a thin coat so that the primer doesn't drip and cause bumps in your paintwork. Allow the primer to dry completely before applying the second layer of primer or the paint. This will take about 1 day. If the bricks have been affected by white deposits or mildew, they will need another coat. Latex primer can be purchased from paint or hardware stores. Applying the paint, choose a paint that will withstand heat and moisture, if necessary. If you are painting bricks that will be exposed to high humidity or moisture, such as those in a bathroom, elastodynamic paint is a suitable option. Elastodynamic paint performs well in all weather conditions and helps to prevent cracks, making it a good option for most interior and exterior bricks. Acrylic latex exterior paint is another good option for exterior bricks as it helps to prevent mildew and repels moisture. If you are unsure of what color to paint the bricks, bring home a variety of paint swatches from a paint store. Hold these up to the area to help you decide which color looks best. Black, gray, and white are all timeless and striking options. If you're painting bricks that are above a stove top or on a fireplace, make sure that you use heat-proof paint. This can be bought from a paint store. Consider using a gloss or semi-gloss paint, as these are easy to clean. Stir the paint with a wooden stirring paddle. Open the paint can using a 5-in-1 tool. Use the wooden paddle to stir the paint in a circular motion. Continue mixing the paint until the color is even and the liquids are all combined. If you cannot get the liquids to combine after 15 minutes of stirring, take the paint to a paint store and ask them to shake the paint for you. Pour the paint into a bucket. Place your hands on either side of the paint can and carefully lift the tin over your bucket. Gently tip the container and pour 3 inches 7.6 cm of paint into the bucket. Place the lid back onto the paint can to keep the paint fresh. Pour the paint into the bucket outside over newspaper or a ground sheet. This will stop accidental spills from staining the carpet or floor. Make sure that your bucket is clean and dust-free. Dampen your brush with water or paint thinner. If you are using a latex paint, dip your entire brush into water. If you are using an oil-based paint, use a paint thinner instead. Absorb any excess paint thinner or water from the paintbrush using an old cloth so that the brush is just damp but not dripping. Paint thinner can be purchased from a paint store. Dip the bottom 1/3 of the brush into the paint bucket. Use a 2.5 inches 6.4 cm wide polyester or nylon brush. Lawn brush, 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 lawn brush. Place the bottom 1/3 of the bristles into the paint and push them against the side of the bucket. This will push the paint into the brush. Gently tap the brush against the inside walls of the bucket to remove any excess paint and lift out your brush, 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 your brush. Don't wipe the brush onto the rim of the bucket, as this removes too much paint from the brush. From the brush, 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 on 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 the brush, from the paint the area from top to bottom. Paint the area using smooth up and down brush strokes. Apply a thin coat so that the paint doesn't drip. Start by covering the top strip of the area with paint and work your way down until the whole area has a thin cover of paint. Re-dip your brush into the paint regularly to achieve a smooth and even finish. Allow the paint to dry for 24 hours. Apply a second coat. Once the first coat is completely dry, apply a second coat following the same method as the first coat. A second coat will help to increase the quality of the finished paintwork. Take care to use consistent paint strokes on the final coat to create an even finish.